Oh my goodness. Oh my gracious. You know, I just showed up and there's a sext on my desk. What a great day. Welcome. Welcome on in. Come on in. Grab a seat. We're going to pent a mint. I need a controller. The color of blood. Hi everyone. My name's Josh Kloss. I use they them pronouns. You can see them down there so you don't have an excuse. We're gonna play Pentiment. I hit the button. I should follow Florian's advice and go to the Druckers. But first, party cats. Hopefully it will clear my head. Let's see if we can find Mouse Finger first. Mouse Finger's not out in the rain. Mouse Finger. Probably Mouse Finger because of the umlaut. What a good kitty. So yeah, a murder happened. And we were pretty confrontational about it. And we were told to get out of the Abbey because we were too confrontational about it. Not the button I meant to press. Where's the map? I found the map. This way. Gotta wait for them to finish setting the type. Good day, Andreas. Back from the Abbey already? It's only noon. Andreas, are you alright? No, something terrible has happened. Oh God, what happened? No, forgive me. Come inside and sit down for a minute. If it's not an imposition, I'd appreciate a moment to rest. Not an imposition at all. My friends are always welcome in my home. Besides, I could use your opinion on something. Good day, Andreas. Should I fix you a plate? I'm always glad to eat your cooking, Marie. Oh my. Klaus, you must invite Andreas over more often so I can hear someone compliment my food. Your cooking is lovely, darling. Hello. Hello, Berthold. How are you? Sleepy. Mood. Come back to my workshop. I'm going to do a new run of Till Eulenspiegel. There was a printing a few years ago in Strasbourg, but it was awful, almost bereft of illustrations. What do you think of these new ones? I mean, the figures and composition are terrific, but the background is quite dense and busy. I would suggest running this in 2 passes, with the background elements in a lighter ink, to to help the characters stand out. That's a fine idea. I'll pass on your compliments to Marie. Are these her woodcuts? They are. The drawings were mine, but she did the block cuts. I've got enough talent to draw the designs, but only she can do the woodcuts and the type. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 I'm hungry. Heh. Amen. Heh. Andreas, what were the bells for at the Abbey? They were sounding for a long time. The visiting nobleman, Lorenz Rothvogel, was found murdered in the chapter house. God in heaven! He just rode by here yesterday. Yes, Berthold does say it like it is. You are absolutely correct. Yes, and it gets worse. One of the elderly brothers I worked with in the scriptorium, Piero, was accused of the crime. That's awful. A murder in Curacao? How could a monk do such a thing? I'm sorry, Andreas. The Baron seemed like an interesting man, and I know he's been a patron of the Abbey for many years. How did he die? Could it have been an accident? And does the abbot really believe that Brother Piero killed him? You've always spoken of him in the kindest terms. For Berthold's sake, I'd rather spare you the details, but it's hard to believe what happened to him was natural. But no, I can't believe Piero did it. I can't imagine him harming anyone. Oh, don't hold back on my account. I've had children and even helped Agnes deliver a few. I'm not squeamish. Yes, blood! Okay, Berthold. But if it wasn't Brother Piero, who do you think could have done it? I did see Lucky Steinauer get into a shouting argument with Lorenz yesterday just before I walked past your place. Lucky? Would he have cause to shout at a nobleman? Why would he have cause to shout at a nobleman? Oh, we got sausage, we got farmer's bread, we got egg pasta. What do we start with? I mean, we've got two carb forward dishes or pieces, and the egg pasta and the farmer's bread, and then we got the sausage. I'm gonna say let's start with the bread. There's probably something else going on that you wouldn't know about, dear. What do you mean by that? I'm not one to trade gossip, but if you really want to know, talk to some of the other women in town. Or Mother Cecilia up at the Abbey. Why Mother Cecilia? I didn't realize she saw much of Tassing. Oh, there's no need for that. Lucky is a forthright man. I'm sure if you ask him, he'll tell you what the argument was about. Thank you, both. That's good advice. There's something else, though. When Lawrence and I were walking through the meadow, the widow, Kemperin, came up and out of the woods, and so yes. Well, she cursed him. I'm not surprised. Ottilia's late husband ran afoul of Lorenz on his last visit to Tassing. I don't remember the details, but Rannick died just last year, and Ottilia hasn't been the same since. She was always an old bitch, even before she was old. Klaus, that's enough. She's had to deal with a Job's lot in life. And now she lives all alone at the edge of the woods. There are rumors she's going to lose her property soon. I do pity her, even if she is a bitter woman. There should be some exception in the law for her to inherit. I think Andreas would be an actually. This version of him, at least. Actually, women are not legally barred from inheriting. It all depends on the details of the lease. Did she come from a wealthy family? She did, in fact. Wealthier than Randig's, anyway. If the land they lived on was part of her dowry, she may make a case to lay claim to it or property of equal value. Well, well. Are you a lawyer, Andreas? Enough about Ottilia. Yeah. Enough about Ottilia. Is there anyone else you think may have done it? I don't know if he has any ill intent, but Prior Ferenc has been acting strangely since the day Lorenz arrived. Perhaps an academic disagreement? I know they're both avid readers, both of classics and new works. On his last visit, the Baron bought a book of astronomy from me. I know the Prior has some similar interests. But would the Prior kill someone over a simple disagreement? It's not that outlandish. When I was in university, I saw men throw punches over small academic concerns. Granted, I was very drunk at the time, but I think that's what the argument was about. What is an opinion for some is a testament of faith for others, and worth killing for. That may be so, but I've never seen that sort of anger in Prior Ferenc. Not even when Gernot was made abbot instead of him. Afterward, he seemed bitter, but never violent. That just doesn't seem to be part of his character. So, Lucky, the widow, and the Abbey Prior. Anyone else? There was something strange when we approached the Abbey together. Mother Cecilia was outside with some of the sisters. Mother Cecilia scowled and took the nuns inside without saying a word. It sounds like they have a history, at least. Egg, pasta, pasta of egg. I do not know Mother Cecilia personally, but I have never heard anyone speak badly of her. If she had cause to dislike the Baron, I must believe she had good reason. Well, Andreas, it sounds like there's a lot to look into. These are two similar things, but they're a bit different. Thank you for your care. It's helped me understand how I can help Piero. You're always welcome here, Andreas. Anytime. Yeah! You're especially welcome with this one. God be with you, Andreas. Thank you. Be good until I come back, Bertold. I'll try. Two days remain. I have several leads to follow, but where should I start? I could talk to Lucky Steinauer. He's probably working in front of his house. The widow Kemperin lives south of here, near France Bower. I'm France Bower. Prior Ferenc is usually at the scriptorium, but I won't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Still, nothing would prevent me from talking to Mother Cecilia in the convent. But if I don't attend Brother Florian's examination of the body at the Abbey, he'll have to do it without me. Let's go past the mill. Hey, Staub. Good Staub. How's it going, Till? Hello, Master Mauler. What's this? A Baron? A letter to the Baron from Prior Fairy? My god. Lawrence was blackmailing Fairy to get him to perform some kind of occult ritual. It's one thing to read books on magic, but few are foolish enough to attempt to actually practice what's written in them. Some of the substances used in these rituals are dangerous, even lethal. And God forbid someone in the Inquisition finds out about it. Ooh. Ooh, Prior Fairy, what have you been up to? That's quick. Andreas, this way. There you are. I'm glad the storm didn't delay you. Now, even though I gave instructions that I was not to be disturbed, we must work quickly. Seeing a corpse up close can be unsettling for some. I hope you're up to it. I've been in enough street fights to see a good share of blood. Unless you regularly fight people to the death, it doesn't really compare, but that's good to know. Now then, you should probably take notes as we go. They may be useful later. Might be a surprise tool. Of course. Nah, beans. I will begin by inspecting his anterior, starting with the face and head. No visible wounds, no blemishes, teeth in good condition, nothing unusual. Neck, shoulders, and chest are ordinary. I need to clean some blood away to examine the torso. Yes, there it is, a puncture wound between the 6th and 7th ribs. It's fairly shallow, though. I estimate it penetrated only about an inch, and it likely came from his own hand. The continued fixation on a Nuremberg inch or an Innsbruck inch? What? Nuremberg inches are longer. I'll write down Nuremberg inch. But that doesn't sound deep enough to have killed him. It wasn't. It's likely incidental, received while falling on his own knife. He must have some other wound that issued forth all the blood we found him in. Who do you think killed him? I don't know. I can't even speculate. All I can do is examine this body and hope you can figure out the rest. Simply pointing out the implausibility of Brother Piero's striking the fatal blow may not be enough to convince the Archdeacon. Brother Piero never should have picked up that knife. I'm sure the appearance of guilt never even crossed his mind. Now then, let's move on. Well, there is a sore on his sex, probably from the French disease. I doubt it had anything to do with his murder. I'm not familiar with it. It was first discovered 20 years ago by French soldiers visiting brothels in Naples. Anyway, it seems the Baron was not the most faithful husband. Not uncommon among the nobility. No, I'm not gonna go on that judgmental assumption of judgmentalness, which is in and of itself judgmental. Say nothing. Moving down. Other than a few blisters on his feet from what I assume are new shoes, there's nothing wrong with his legs. Andreas, can you help me turn him over? Of course. There's a slight irregularity in his spine, possibly from an old injury. I don't think it has anything to do with how he died, though. How could that have happened? I have no idea. Whatever the reason, it didn't contribute to his death. Here it is. A rather dramatic head wound. The dark hair and the blood make it difficult to see, but it's quite bad. In my experience, I've never seen someone walk away from a head wound of this severity. How many head wounds have you seen? Too many and not enough. As grim as it sounds, there's always more to learn. Italian doctors try to examine as many corpses as they can to fully understand the mysteries of the body. The battlefields of Poland and Lithuania aren't as ideal a learning environment as the University of Bologna, but they did provide an education of sorts. Why didn't you study medicine in a university? My family was too poor to even consider it. Mercenary work was my way off the farm. The wound looks like it was caused by a single powerful blow from a blunt object, probably no more than 4 or 5 inches across. Say nothing. Keep going. It's likely he didn't die immediately. How long could he have survived for? I've seen similar injuries in battle. The victims don't last more than a few minutes, but it's an agonizing death. Even so, he couldn't have wandered far from where the blows first struck. So he may not have been attacked in the chapter house? He was either attacked in the chapter house or someplace in the immediate area. Is the church a possibility? I can't imagine it. Rudiger and Matthew are in and out of there constantly. Party cats. Mousefanger. But not. A cousin, perhaps. Table is getting that nice red hue that we're looking for. Noise in the church is easy to hear, and the Baron would have to go through the cloister to wind up in the chapter house. Anyway, whatever killed the Baron was a blunt instrument of considerable heft. The part that impacted him was likely a little smaller than a fist. Whoever did it got the jump on him. That's the way to do it. A blow to the head, unaware. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I suppose that he was struck, drew his knife to defend himself, and fell on it before Brother Piero discovered him. So I believe we've discovered 2 important things. Piero didn't stab the Baron, and even if he had, that isn't what killed him. Indeed, though it may take more than that to convince the Archdeacon of Brother Piero's innocence. And we also know that the Baron was killed by a blow to the head from a heavy, blunt object. Now you just need to find what caused the blow and learn who struck it. Oh, there is one other item of interest. I found it in the Baron's jacket, but didn't want to open it without you. A note of some kind. I trust you open it more carefully than I would. What does it say? The girl who died and the innocent with her. Matt's chapter. 2 a.m. The girl who died and the innocent with her. The girl? What girl? And what innocent? One of the nuns? It's been years since any of the nuns have died. Perhaps Mother Cecilia would remember. Can you tell who wrote it? Oh, Brother Guy. I don't think they're French or Flemish. It would be some sort of Bastarda script. Bastarda and Burgundian scribes write similarly, but no. This is a highly refined Gothic hand. As good as Adok and Guy are, I don't think they could replicate this. What? Really? If not them, who? I intend to find out. I wish you good luck finding the answer. Now, I'm sorry to rush you, but I must ask you to leave. Every minute you stay here is an additional Brother Florian, could you open up? It's Werner Stoltz, the physician from Tassing. Werner Stoltz, excuse me. Yes, I'm in the middle of something. Could you return after supper? I'm afraid I can't wait. Father Gernot asked me to examine the Baron's body. All right, just give me a moment. Andreas, I need you to hide yourself. Of course. Ah, Dr. Stoltz. Sorry to keep you waiting. Now, what did you need? The abbot wanted me to examine the Baron's body before his wife arrives. It seems unnecessary at this point, as I've just completed my own examination. Well, then what's the harm of letting me take a look? Dr. Stoltz, with all respect, I've finished. The cause of death is clear. If you had arrived an hour ago, I would have no problem with your assistance. Assistance? I'm a university-trained physician. I can examine a corpse on my own without the help of a battlefield sawbones. We are a rapscallion, but are we a rapscallion that wants to get our friend in trouble? And ourselves. I think that we know from experience it's best to remain hidden. Regardless of your opinions regarding my abilities, the examination is finished. If you insist on inspecting the body anyway, I must insist that the abbot tells me himself. What? Making me bring the abbot here is a waste of time. So is performing an examination on this corpse immediately after one was just completed. Idiotic. I'll return with Father Gernot presently. That was close. Now quickly, leave through the cloister before they return. Of course. Thank you, Brother Florian. Think nothing of it. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then. I should find something to eat. I can't get that note out of my head. The girl who died and the innocent with her. What could it mean? And who wrote it? What did I eat with at the guest house? Well, let's go and find out. There's a puppy. He's a friendly puppy. Hello. Ah, Mr. Muller, would you care to share supper at my table? I would like to talk to you about my late husband. My Lady Rothvogel, I would be honored to break bread with you. Thank you. Please sit. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts, which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. I found myself rather out of place here without the comfort of the Baron. Thank you for agreeing to share a meal with me, Master Muller. Of course. The honor is mine. It is a terrible thing what happened to the Baron. It has given me the shock of my life. It has given me the shock of my life. I'm trying to find comfort where it can in my ladies and the Lord. This is sometimes in the game they'll fix the typo. This is just they did an oopsie when they were writing it. So we got quail, we got Emmental cheese and wheat bread. Anything else? Just the two. Oh no, we also have some frumenti? What is frumenti? I need to look this up. Let me pull out the old cellophone, because I can't look it up in the game. Frumenti. It's a dish. Could have guessed that one. An old-fashioned dish consisting of whole wheat, boiled in milk, and seasoned with cinnamon and sugar. That sounds pretty okay. Maybe. I hope. I think we're going to close with that as sort of a little dessert treat, because it's at the bottom of the plate. And we're going to start with the cheese and bread. Not that there is much comfort to be found in these cold and dreary alpine towns. Lawrence and I had meant to take a tour of them before returning home to Worms, but, well, return we shall. I'm sorry for your loss, my lady. This sorrow was just the first of many, I'm afraid. Are you married yourself, Master Muller? A woman waits for me in Nuremberg. When I finish my work here, we will be wed. Do you not look forward to the responsibilities of marriage, Master Muller? Perhaps it's no surprise you and Lawrence became fast friends. I imagine he saw something of himself in you. Oh, my. He even gave you one of his pins. He must have been quite fond of you. Rarely have I met someone with such a depth of knowledge and a thirst for debate. His thirsts were not limited to his scholarly pursuits, regrettably. His lusts for drink and women once afflicted him with great remorse, though such shame faded with time. Lawrence was a flawed man. His various infidelities were no secret to me. But are we not all flawed before Christ? I loved him as a wife should properly love her husband, but I would not say that we were friends. I only hope his appetites are not what led him to his end, what lead him to his end, this end. I've been searching for the answer to that quandary myself. Were you and Lawrence so close that you would trouble yourself so? This is true. Yeah, I think let's be honest about it. My motivation is personal. What harm does it do if I tell her? Let's go for it. I forgot what it said, but essentially I don't think Pierre did it. If not him, then who? There are many possibilities, both here in the Abbey and in town. Your husband managed to cultivate many enemies in his short time here. That does sound like Lawrence. He was a man of many opinions, and he gave them freely to all who would listen, and some who would not. The previous abbot, Father Matthias, seemed to appreciate that about him. This new abbot is, perhaps, more conservative. Father Matthias was an open-minded man, from all I've heard, a true scholar. Father Gernot doesn't share Matthias's passion for the written word, yet he endures the expense of it. To be put in such a position would make any man unhappy. I understand. I wonder what he will make of Lawrence's gift to the Abbey. What gift was this? It seemed to be a little thing of more interest and value to my husband and the former abbot than Father Gernot. I'm not going to eat the knife because I can't. He had found a book about the history of Tassing. He believed it contained some scandalous details. He said it corroborated fears Father Matthias had expressed, but he didn't share the particulars with me. Did you know Father Matthias yourself? I never met him, but my husband held him in high esteem. Lawrence said he was a man of great virtue and high learning. I'm sorry I can't be of more help. I have some education, but I lack my husband's thirst for knowledge. If you find the book, hopefully its significance will be apparent. If God wills it. Do you plan to stay in Tassing long? Only so long as it takes the Archdeacon to investigate my husband's murder. Though the circumstances of my time here are dire, I'm in no hurry to return. You are a disarming man, Mr. Mahler, and much too easy to talk to. To be frank, I do not know what will become of me when I return to Worms. My title and residence may be in jeopardy. Lawrence and I have a son, but he is young yet. I don't know many of the legalities, only that my position is at some risk. Would you like me to elucidate them for you? I studied imperial law at Erfurt. Ah, thank you, but no. I fear it will only heighten my unease. I am sorry to cut our conversation short, but I fear I must rest. Thank you for having me at your table. Be well, Master Mahler. And whatever anyone says of my husband, I'm certain he appreciated your friendship. Oh, it's time to sleep. Definitely going to sleep. Or, unless... Oh shit. Matthew is the Araby's circator. If he sees me, he'll kick me out. Monk responsible for making rounds in the Abbey to make certain everyone is where they are supposed to be, doing what they are supposed to do. I have to keep out of sight until he's passed. Good thing he can't see well. Dun 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 dun. Colonel. Brother Matthew didn't see me. I'm infiltrating the crypt. I found the entrance to the library. I'm entering it now. If I go up these stairs, it's going to take a while to find the records I need. I'll lose some time tomorrow morning unless I turn back now. Enter the library. What's this? What's this? De Herbis Cambrie on the herbs of Wales. I didn't know Wales had herbs. The writer is Cadphalus of Salopia. I don't believe I've heard of him. Mugwort and Butcher's Broom. I'm not familiar with their properties, but they sound extraordinary. A beautifully illustrated book, and the author appears to be speaking from his own personal experiences. A wonderful treasure, hidden treasure for the Abbey. What do we have here? A bifolium taken from a larger text. The Mysteria Astra? I'm not familiar with it. Some sort of astronomical text. Seems rudimentary, explaining the connection between astrological signs and the elements, and their basic relationship to alchemy. Each sign is governed by one of the 4 elements. Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces are the water signs. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo are earth signs, and so on. Cuts off there. The next page is about something else entirely. Sister Illuminata must be trying to reconstruct the larger text. Those 2 pages were interesting enough, I suppose, but they're basic. Wait, that's the connection between the astrological symbols on Faring's cipher and the element symbols on the Volvel. If I turn the wheel to the element that matches the sign, I can decipher the note he left. Excellent. Crime! Laser, welcome on in. We're investigating the crime. We figured out there was a big ol' head wound on the back of his head, which is where head wounds usually are, is on the head. And, what else did we do? We ate with his widow, and there was something sparking out there, but we didn't get anywhere with it, you know. So it goes. This is most curious. He is the Baron. They could also be on the side or front or top of the head. This is true. This is Historia de Labyrintho Librorium. Account of the Labyrinth of books. I wonder what secret texts could be hidden in such a place. I'll have to see if I can borrow the book when I have some free time, if Illuminata allows it. This looks promising. The familiares? The familiaries. Nope, that's not it. The familiares of the Sisters of Kirsau Abbey. Yes! Mother Catherine was the first to enter records, it looks like, almost 50 years ago. Sister Hildegard from the Gulderich family in Ravensburg, quite wealthy. It looks like she became the prioress after her mother Catherine. Yeah, they've all got familiars. Sister Cecilia Adelheid? Oh, this is Mother Cecilia's record. Wait, she's from the Welser family? They're one of the most family powerfuls. No, they're one of the most powerful families in Augsburg. It looks like her family donates a lot of money to Kirsau every year, more than my family sees in 10. Sister Gertrude from Hoth, the herbalist, yes. She comes from the ice planet. She knows how to use the tow cable to take down the AT-AT walkers. Her father is an apothecary. That explains it. This note says Sister Matilda left the Abbey for several months. Why would she go to a hermitage? It seems strange that she's the only entry with such a note. The dates, 3 years ago. This was just before Father Matthias died. Which means it was around the time Baron Rothvogel visited. I should ask Sister Matilda about this. Maybe Mother Cecilia as well. Matilda Oblate. Yes, the nun's cellarer. She came from Kempton. What's a cellarer? A cellarer is an appointed official in a monastery responsible for maintaining food supplies and for maintaining the grounds. It's pretty much the same thing as this rabbit with a cool axe. Merchant family. They donated pigments to use in the scriptorium. Quite thoughtful. I'll have to thank them if I ever get the chance. Well, they need to defend themselves against the werewolves, is why the rabbits need axes. Oh, this should be interesting. Sister Illuminata. Named Angeline from the Capocci family in Perugia. It looks like they have some connection to Curacao through an old abbot, Rudolph. Her family donates money to the abbey every year as well. Sophie from Brigids. Oh, Brigids perhaps. Her family is poor, but they donated flour. Lisbeth Oblate. She's from Utrecht. Utrecht? It looks like she had an eventful life before coming here. Married with a child. Both died. Her merchant family has some connection to Curacao through the Kaufmans of Rothenburg ob der Tauber. That's probably Tauber. Sister Margaret. Oh, the blind girl who assists Gertrude. She went blind because of failed surgery on her cataracts. Wealthy peasant family. They donated wool and a pasture in Krimmel. Sister Zidana. This should be good. Hehe. They donate a fortune to the abbey. No wonder Mother Cecilia and the abbot let her behave the way she does. That's it? I thought it was going to be good. Shit. What am I going to do now? Just wait for them to finish, then leave. It can't take that long, can it? You should speak with them openly, in good faith, as men of reason. Run for it. Go, go, go. There's no good option here. I think this is the least bad option. I didn't bring my sword. I should have brought my sword to a library, but I didn't. Wish there was a sword fight option. I shouldn't just sit here and watch in any case. If I can't get out of here before the sisters arrive in the morning, it might be even worse. It might not be awful if Zidana finds me first. Maybe we're friends? I can't tell with her. Just need to wait for them, Rudger and Matthew to leave. Just a little patience. $14 hours? My goodness. Andreas. Andreas, wake up. Well, are you here for the books? Or for me? You, you, of course. I'd call you a liar, but I know it's the truth. Well, you probably pray every evening that when you knock on the door in the morning, it'll answer instead of Illuminata. Something like that. Do you want to keep talking? No. You? Achievement unlocked. Kiss Zidane. I mean, it hasn't been established before this, but apparently we've got a thing, so... Sister Zidane, are you here yet? Sister Zidane? I'll just say nothing. I'll let her decide the best course of action. Oh, God, protect us, Sister Illuminata. Come quickly. Someone is sleeping behind the bookshelf. She ratted me out? Andreas? How did you find your way in here? And why are you here in the first place? You scared Sister Zidane half to death. I was hoping I could find some clues that could help prove Brother Piero's innocence, which is true. In the library? What could possibly be in here that could help with that? I'm not sure. Do you know why Sister Matilda was sent to a hermitage around the time of the Baron's last visit? I do, but this is not appropriate for me to discuss any further. You should speak to Sister Matilda or Mother Cecilia. I can't speak with you. It is not my story to tell, and in case you've forgotten, you shouldn't even be here. Please leave. Immediately. Of course. I'm sorry for the trouble. As you should be. Come, Sister Zidane. We have work to do. I should find someone to eat with. Hey, any of y'all want some grub? I could eat here. Where's, yeah, Sabat. Andreas, I am sorry about what has happened to Brother Piero. I do not know him well, but I find it hard to believe he could have killed the Baron. Do you have any idea who might have done it? Did you see anything? Sadly, no. Most mornings I spend my time reading in the courtyard, but the rain made that impossible. And although the brothers are friendly, I do not know them well enough to speculate. I am sorry. I know it might be far from your mind, but have you considered my offer to eat with you and the townspeople? The gospel says that man cannot live on bread alone, but from time to time a little bread is required. course. I'll talk to Gret and see who she wants to come along. Where should we meet you? Ah, at the shrine to St. Moritz. I'll see you there. Until then. Oh my. Andreas. Yes? Are these all of the mothers from Tassing and their children? Well, no, I don't think it's all of them. Helena Pfeiffer couldn't make it. It's a long way up here in her condition. And Hetty said Hans was too big for stories. Stories? I might have said something about your books. I like stories. Yes, maybe a little too much. Ha! All right, I can tell a story, but first let us pray together and eat. O Lord, thank you for bringing us together as you brought Jesus to his disciples on the road to Emmaus. With the breaking of bread between us, let us recognize each other as Christians and rejoice in our salvation through you. Amen. Various people saying Amen. And I thank you and your husband for this bread, Gret. My Ulrich always says that bread brings people together. I missed this when I was in Flanders. Let's start with those almonds. They don't have bread in Flanders? Where's Flanders? North, down by the sea. It's where the Muller's windmill came from. It's true. They have whole fields of them where the land is flat. I want to see them. Father Gernot eats a white bread, does he not? Yes, the finest wheat is used for the abbot's bread. Why? The abbot is a very important man, Paul. We have a bread in my home that we call injera. We make it thin, round, and wide, and we put our food on top of it. We eat it with almost every meal. As you love the bread of your home, so I miss mine. You know, with all this bread talk, there's only one choice I can make. Oh, what's the recipe? Maybe we could make it. Thank you, but no. We use a fine grain that does not grow here, called teff. I hope you find our local bread satisfying, Brother Sabat. I do enjoy it, perhaps too much. I'm becoming too accustomed to life in Rome, even life in these mountains. In truth, I can no longer remember the taste of injera, not even the feeling of it in my mouth. It is the great danger that comes with the blessing of travel, living a life between worlds. I don't want to talk about bread anymore. It's so boring. How dare you? Bread. Don't be rude, Bert. I did say I would tell a story. Children, have you ever seen a Bible? Does it have a plot consequence? Who can say? Who can say if the way you eat the foods has a consequence? Father Tom. Yeah, Father Thomas has one. It's huge. My dad has one. It was printed in Bamberg. Very good. This is a Bible from my home that I brought to give to the abbot. Andreas, do you have a favorite story to illustrate from the Bible? Adam and Eve at the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Jacob wrestling with the angel. The Annunciation, when Gabriel appears to Mary. Elijah and the chariots of fire. Christ being taken down from the cross. What would the Andreas we've constructed like? gonna go towards the front of the book. Make it easy to find. Adam and Eve. And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Ah, yes. The beginning of it all. The fall of man. I wasn't sure if it was going to be the fall of man or the fail of man. Which would not be contemporaneous. But describing it as the epic fail of man would be a good way to reach the teens. I would sit backwards on this chair to talk about it, but I would break several things if I attempted to do that. It is good for us to be reminded of what we lost in Eden. Now then, children, do you know the story of Jesus feeding the multitudes? I'm going to ignore what you just said, and I'm just going to talk about whatever the heck I want. Fish and loaves. My mom and dad make loaves. Hey, kid. Have you ever heard of God's first LOL? This is from our Bible. How we tell the story of how Jesus fed thousands from only a few fish and a few loaves of bread. Why is everyone brown? Because where I am, everyone looks like me. Because where I am from, everyone looks like me. Why? Because we are all as God has made us. I know tasking seems big to you, but the world is so much bigger than we can imagine. There are many people of many different colors all over the world. There are places where no one looks like you or me. Really? It's true. In Flanders, I saw ships arrive from the New World. The people look and dress very differently from us, differently from Brother Sabat. They make art out of gold that is so beautiful that it outshines the greatest works of the Christian world. Brother Sabat, did you know the Baron who was murdered? Bert! It came up when I was visiting the Druckers. I'm sorry, Murray. There's nothing to apologize for. We can't shield them from the world forever. I did not know him, Bert. But do you know the story of Lazarus? No? He was a friend of Jesus. He became sick and he died. Died. Hat. But Jesus brought his followers to Lazarus' tomb. He prayed to God, and when they opened the tomb, Lazarus emerged, returned from the dead. Jesus can bring people back from the dead? He can, Bert. One day Jesus will bring us all back from the dead. Everyone who has ever lived and died will come together and be resurrected on Judgment Day. Judgment Day. Just gonna let it roll. She's too cute for me to get mad at her. Even the Romans? Yes, the Romans too. Why did you ask about the Romans? I saw one come out of their tomb, like Lazarus. What do you mean, Paul? Well, the ruins below the mill, they're Roman, and they all died a long time ago. But I saw one come out the other night. They were in white, like Lazarus. Let's stop telling stories, Paul. And you shouldn't have been outside at night. Andreas, what does he mean? I don't know. It's troubling to be sure. I think I may have seen something similar the other evening. I know of texts, rituals, and that an educated man could use to attempt to summon a spirit. Probably just someone sneaking around after dark up to mischief. Resurrection. Now that's what I call a victory royale. Teens, I'm relatable. I know all the hip trends. I read about them in a blog that I subscribe to. Y'all kids know about blogs, right? I need a visor cap that I can wear somehow incorrectly. Then I'll really be youth pastor mode. I think it probably was just someone slinking around after dark up to mischief. That explanation does sound. Does seem sound. Does sound seem. I hope that you are right. Apologies for that, ladies, but thank you for sharing a meal with me today. I will be leaving for Rome soon, but I am glad have spent some time with you and your children. Thank you, Brother Sabat. It was wonderful. Don't forget to stop by the bakery before you go. I'm sure my husband will want to see you before you go. I will. God grant you health. Time to get back to work. Do I have to? Oh, I guess going back to work means going to investigate. And there's one place we have to go first because we haven't checked in yet today. Yes. Good mouse finder. The shovel has blood on the blade. Not normal. I think Sister Matilda uses it in the garden. I should ask her about it. I will in a moment, but there's something else that has piqued my interest. Brother Gerhard has been dead quite some time. Why is his grave disturbed? Gerhard, excuse me. There are deep indentations in this parchment. Whoever wrote on the page above it must have been angry. I wonder if I could make a charcoal rubbing of this page and reveal the content of the writing. No, it turns out I can't. Live and learn. Wait a minute, it's working. Oh. Clear as an alpine day. It's a letter to the Baron from Prior Ferenc. And this must be where Ferenc wrote the letter I found in the guest house. Lawrence was blackmailing Ferenc. It's the same text. Now that I know the connection between the astrological symbols on the cipher and the elemental symbols on the Volvel, Ferenc's note should be easy to decipher. I don't think so. Alright, so let's see. This one is that. What am I looking at? I'm looking at green. Hi! Oh, it says hi! Sister Matilda might be a vampire werewolf. Who is also the moon. That seems very likely. It says Hig. So far we have Hig, Heeg, Higer, that one. Gerhard. Hi, Gerhard. As in the late brother Gerhard? Yes. Yes, it can't be a coincidence. Hi, Gerhard. Brother Gerhard died sometime last year. How does this connect to him? Is it an anagram using Gerhard's name? Harried? Hardier? Where does the G go? God, I'm sure Adoc would know. Maybe it's not an anagram. Huh. Let me think. Did he use his name for an abbreviation? That's a lot of letters for an abbreviation. A cipher inside of a cipher, perhaps? I don't know. Let me think. Why his name? And why Gerhard? Dutch? No. Not Flemish or French. Let me think. Wait. Maybe it's an abbreviation and a name. Gerhard is the name. What's H-I? Haud Ignota? No. Hink Ile Lacrimae? Oh my god. It's so much simpler. Hic Iaset. Here lies Gerhard. Gerhard's grave. I wonder if it has something to do with the Baron's murder. I should ask the abbot for permission to exhume the grave as soon as possible. And got the achievement like a record baby for solving the cipher. Wait, hold on. Someone was in a hurry to get rid of this parchment. It smells recent. Probably wasn't burned more than a day ago. Ah, Andreas. What an awful time. Awful time. A baron murdered in Curacao. These are dark days indeed. Brother Piero, I admit I would have never thought him the type. What could have possessed him? You can't believe Brother Piero would kill the Baron. It's not in his nature. Envy and pride inspire men to madness, Andreas. Even old men. But you have come to me for a reason. Do you need something? Your confession! Not now, thank you. Then I must return to my duties. God keep you, Andreas. Want a little more evidence. God bless you, Andreas. Brother Gerhard's grave was disturbed recently. Ferenc must have buried something here. I need to dig up this grave if I want to know what he was up to. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Perhaps Brother Volkberg would lend me a hand. Can't pet the chicken. Attention everyone, I cannot pet the chicken. A sad day. These cucumbers are growing quickly. I'm sure whatever isn't eaten will be pickled. Mirabilis. Keep on doing your thing, dog. Literal dog. Can't go upstairs. Okay. Hey, Gernot, I'm not doing anything suspicious. Don't worry about it. Why would you say, don't worry about it? When the brothers eat their meals, this is where the lector reads to them. Hey, Love. I'm sorry, Andreas. I can't let you down there. Father Gernot doesn't want anyone talking to Brother Piero before the Archdeacon arrives. Just a few minutes? I really shouldn't. I need to talk to him. I'm sorry, I can't. I understand. I'm sorry. No, you're right. I'll leave it alone. God bless you, Andreas. Okay, but have you reconsidered? No. I tried. Hello. I need a monk to help me dig up a grave. I need a monk who's gonna be cool who will help me dig up a grave. So not you, Matthew. God bless you, Andreas. Bells. Hold on. Hold on. Thought there was some blood on the ropes, but it's just the way it is. The ropes are bleeding. Hey, Ruger. God bless you, Andreas. Ah, there he is. Good day, Andreas. Do you need something? Father Abbot said I should help you if you needed it, so here I am. There's a matter I need your help with, Brother Volkbert. I suspect that something's hidden in Gerhard's grave. Do you think you could dig it up for me? Did you ask Father Gernot? I want to help, but I don't think I should unless he says it's all right. Volkbert is a kind man, and he always wants to help, but he's also very credulous. Deceiving him would be easy, but that's the thing. I don't want to get Volkbert in trouble. I'm a rapscallion, but I'm not a rapscallion who leaves innocent folks in the line of getting chewed out or worse. How severe would the abbot's wrath be? After all, Volkbert is only a novice. Surely he would understand that I tricked him and would be lenient. Wouldn't he? I'm not so sure. Alright, I'll go talk to the abbot. Fine, that's good. Be well, Andreas. You know, it's that easier to ask forgiveness than permission, or at least I thought it, but if he doesn't let me, I just do it anyway. Andreas, I trust you are abiding by my command to leave Piero and the rest of the monastics in peace? Father Gernot is in a difficult position. He hasn't been the abbot long, and he's young. The elder monks don't respect him. A friend of the Prince Bishop murdered under the roof of his abbey. It doesn't look good. If I represent a threat to the abbot's authority, he could expel me from the abbey, masterwork or not. Then I may never discover who really killed Lawrence, and Piero will die for it. I should be careful not to alienate Gernot before the Archdeacon arrives. I've been abiding by your command. Frustrating through it is. I do not appreciate your characterization of my reasonable request as frustrating. Nevertheless, I must admit have not heard any complaints about your behavior, for which I am grateful. I know you and Brother Piero are close. You must trust that if Piero is innocent of the Baron's death, God will reveal as much to the Archdeacon. There is more at stake here than you understand, Andreas. Given that I am not the Lord and don't have perfect understanding of all things, of course that's the case. Which is why I've come to you with a request. And? I have Ferenc is Gernot's assistant. The brothers chose Gernot over Ferenc because they didn't find Ferenc trustworthy. Gernot might not either. I could keep Ferenc's name out of it entirely, but then my reasoning would sound rather vague. I have reason to believe Brother Ferenc has hidden something in Brother Gerhard's grave, and I'd like to dig it up. What does that have to do with the death of Baron Rothvogel? I suspect the weapon used to murder the Baron may be buried there. Baron Rothvogel was stabbed. We know the murder weapon used to kill him. Brother Piero was found holding it. He could have suffered 2 fatal injuries. All that blood. A shallow gut wound doesn't bleed like that. You would know this how? I've given men such injuries before. Now a head wound. That's bloody business. Always puts me to mind of slaughtering pigs. That's quite enough. I leave the adjudication of the Baron's fatal injury to Dr. Stolz and the Archdeacon. Not some journeyman artist. It's evident to anyone who gives Baron Rothvogel's body more than a cursory examination. Are you suggesting I didn't give the murder of Baron Rothvogel my due attention? You seem to think I don't care who killed the Baron, or whether Piero is the one who did it. I do. But I have a role to play here, and I can't be seen to undermine the authority of the Archdeacon in stepping outside of it. You take me for the fool? I will not let you exhume Brother Gerhard's body on a hunch. What does it matter? He's nothing more than bones now. I'm sure he won't mind. He was a brother of this abbey, and he should be left in peace. Just as I would like to be. Leave now and do not pester me about this again. Andreas. Aw, ding dang. Hey, Volkbert. Hello again, Andreas. Did you want to talk to Father Abbot about the grave? I want to help, but I don't want to get in trouble, you know. You know, I'm going to give him the stakes and see what he says. I must be honest, Volkbert. The abbot expressly forbid me from disturbing Gerhard's grave, but I must ask you to do it regardless. Andreas, no, I could never. The abbot could kick me out for causing trouble. I will have no place to go. I will become like those men in the forest, living all alone. No, I can't. Fine, you don't have to dig. I didn't mean to upset you. You're not mad at me? Not at all. Here, I will leave you in peace. Be well, Brother Volkbert. Oh, thank you, Andreas. I'm sorry for crying. Be well. Well... Don't mind me. I'm very smooth. If anyone asks, I'm extremely smooth. There was someone else I could talk to, but I have forgotten who it was. It was someone in town. Maybe it's in my quest log. Otto Zimmerman. Where are the Zimmermans? Okay. Near the middle of town. Got it, got it. Got it, got it. Hey, Till. It's probably town center. Oh, no, here we go. Afternoon, Andreas. Heard that Baron friend of yours was killed up at the Abbey. My mentor, Brother Piero, has been blamed for the crime. One of the elder brothers, isn't he? Might have met him while I was repairing the scriptorium roof. Seemed an alright sort for a monk. Sorry to hear it. Anyway, did you need something? Otherwise, I got things to do. Hold on. What? Do you think you'd help me dig up a grave at the Abbey? Why? You think there's something in there that'll will prove the old brother's innocent, right? That's it. You're perceptive, Otto. That's what I like about you. You're perceptive. Yeah, I only listen when people talk. You should try it. Did you talk to the abbot about this mischief? Didn't want to get my grubby hands all over his stuff without his permission. I'm torn. I'm torn, y'all. You know what? I'm going to give him the same level of credence? I don't know if that's quite the right word that I gave to Wolfberg. Actually, he expressly forbade it. Ha! Do you still want me to do it? Sure, why not? It'll take a few hours, though. Especially if I'm digging alone. You don't care that the Abbey said we shouldn't? What do I give a shit if he gets mad? He's an asshole. Did you want to do this now or not? Let's do it. Fine, I'll grab my tools. So, town carpenter, what's that like? Exhausting. Not like this here. Satisfying, too. To make things with my hands, to feel the sun on my neck and sap under my fingers. And I haven't fallen off a roof yet, so all in all, I can't complain. Being the only carpenter in Tassing must keep you busy. Busy's one word for it. Overworked's another. It was easier my dad and I could do the work together, but since his stroke, it is what it is. But I like being a carpenter. It's necessary work. Keeps me talking to everyone in town and aware of what's troubling them. Many people in Tassing are struggling, Andreas. The peasants especially. I heard as much from Clara Gertnerian. They used to be able to pay a portion of their taxes and crops, but the abbot put an end to that. Now, if they get a bad price from Miller, they don't have enough to pay the abbey. That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. The abbot might own the land, but he doesn't work it. He just reaps the benefit of others' efforts. But it's not just him. The law, imperial law, that's what gives him the power. So maybe the laws have to change. I had no idea it was so bad. My family are all artists. You're from Nuremberg, right? Well away from the peasants' problems. I'd be surprised if you did know. Good thing you came to Tassing. You can get a real education in how the world works. Anyway, I should get back to digging, which I haven't been doing while I've been talking to you. No digging has been done by me whatsoever in this time. It's going to take a while. This is all on my own. Got a ways to go yet. Why don't you take a look around? Oh, Father Matthias is here. With a wooden headstone, too. Things must be worse for the abbey than I thought. Shouldn't abbeys be buried with more marble? The rest of the abbots are in the crypt or under the church. I took a look at them while inspecting the foundations with Endris. Kier's house built on top of an old Roman fort. Not cheap to maintain by any means. Surely they can do better than a wooden gravestone. Take it up with the abbot if it bothers you so much. Me, I think they should all get wood. A monument to the founder of the abbey. It's fairly recent. The funds were donated by her descendants. Brother Jacob from Cologne. Did you ever meet him? We spoke a couple times. He was a funny man, just about the only one of these monks with a sense of humor. Some of them aren't so bad. Piero especially knows how to laugh. If you say so. Jacob had a gift for manipulating his features and voice to imitate the other monks. A man like that is wasted at an abbey. Mother Brunhilde. Abbotissa? I doubt anyone's in that one. Given the age, I guess she's long been moved to the abbey crypt by now. You worried for Father Gernot? He might try to punish us for this? God willing, will be done before he finds out about it. So you want me to speed it up? Sure, what do you care about my back? Christ. Hey! Hey, Brother Matthew! Short, angry monk coming this way. Ah, shit. Matthew's not gonna like this. I could hide, but then I'd be putting Otto in a tough spot. He's not gonna be happy with me if he has to deal with Matthew on his own. But this could be the clue that unlocks the truth about who killed Lawrence. What's a little trouble if it saves an innocent man's life? I'll be kicked out if I get caught. Unless... Ah, hell, we're destined for an earful. Is all well here? We're digging up a grave. How are you? For what purpose? The abbot gave his permission, the rest is not your business. As a surcator, it is my duty to prevent for mischief such as this. I don't want to hold that over him. I made such a convincing case the abbot couldn't help but humor me. Have you been coerced into this, Master Zimmerman? You really think this twiggy-armed painter is able to make me do something I don't want to do? This is very irregular. But, so long as the abbot's approved, it's not my place to gainsay him. Clean up when you're done, please. No problem. Is that going to cause problems for you? I said no problem. Proving Piero's innocence is what matters. I'm not worried about anything else as you hover over the dig site with your shovel. You got convictions after all. Huh. Well, the sun won't wait, so I better get back to digging. Sister Maria, the librarian. Probably before your time. I was a boy when she passed. My father spoke well of her, though. Said she reminded him of his own grandmother, a sweet woman who loved the Lord. I expect the abbot will have dug her up soon. Have her dug up soon. Ah, for the crypt. A ghoulish tradition, I've always thought. What's dead should remain buried. But then, they don't have much space here, and many of the monks aren't long for death themselves, so... Well, I've reached the body, but... What, is something wrong with it? Looks fine enough, decay notwithstanding, but someone stuffed a sack up under his ribs. Good God. Let me see. Ah, arcane tools. They could serve no other purpose. Tools? What do you mean? What would you use these for? Magic. 2 plates are engraved. 2 are plated with Take it back. 2 are plated with precious metals and engraved. A silver chased rod and a golden plate. The rod has symbols of the zodiac on it. The plate has some script I don't recognize. And a knife. Seems ordinary enough, but together with the other 2 buried here. Why would someone bury them here together? Because they're forbidden. Wait, there's blood in some of the symbols on this rod. Dried, to be certain, but not that old. Varing tried cleaning this, but wasn't able to remove all the blood. Could this be what was used to kill Lawrence? Who buried this here anyway? I can't say, but it may be connected to the Baron's murder. What? None of this makes any sense. What's going on here, Andreas? That's what I needed to figure out, Aldo. Thank you for your help. I should find someone to... Burner, Franz Bauer, Johann Bauer, Gertner Farm, Zimmerman House. I could go eat with Otto after all that. Or the midwife. I don't want to impose after that, actually. Hey, you did work for me. Now feed me food. I'm an artist. Nya, 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 nya. Hello, Master Mahler. Evening. You're the Gertner's boarder, aren't you? How could you tell? You don't smell like sheep. Quite unlike the Gertners. Watch your mouth, they're good people. For peasants, maybe. Not a curious one among them, excepting Ava. How is she, by the way? What does she matter to you? I'm only curious. She used to bring their barley to me, but Peter insists on delivering it now. A shame. She'd shown some curiosity about the mill. I'd hoped to foster that. Is there something special about it? She's the only windmill in Bavaria. Did you know? Constructed in exacting detail from Dutch specifications. The gem of the Alps, and none of the incurious dolts here can appreciate it. Yes, I'm sure it's the peasants who are the problem. I should be going. Until later. Until then, Mahler. Hello. Paul, right? I don't think we've talked before. I'm Andreas. I'm staying with the Gertners. Oh, but you're not a farmer. Why are you living with the farmers? They're letting me board with them while I work in the Abbey scriptorium. You're a monk? I'm an artist. Oh, like you do drawings? Drawing, painting, calligraphy. If it goes in a book, I can put it there. Oh, is that... How do you get money? Great question. What? The Abbey pays me, of course. Art is a job, just like being a miller is a job. But it's also a calling, just like being an artist. I didn't... My dad says drawing's stupid. It's not worth anything. Do you like to draw, Paul? Yes! More than anything, but I have to do it where Dad can't see. He gets mad. My dad doesn't like some of the things I do either. That's why I don't tell him. Can I tell you a secret? Nothing on this earth would please me more, young Master Moeller. Mueller, perhaps. Sometimes I draw on the ruins, in the meadow where Dad can't see. The Romans would have been honored. They loved defacing monuments. I don't know what that means. Don't worry about it. What do you draw? Cats? Mom? I don't know, stuff. I probably shouldn't be talking to you. Dad won't like it. You're probably right. I'll go. Until later, Paul. And hey, keep drawing, all right? I will. Bye. Good Staub. Good evening. Forgive me. I've forgotten your name. Andreas Mahler, master artist. Oh, a master at such a young age? It's impressive. Well, I admit I'm not quite a master yet. Still finishing my masterpiece. What is that like? Hard work, but it pays off in the end. Ah, to live a dream. I don't like either of these choices. Because she doesn't really have the same... I mean, she does have the right, but... Yeah, of the two, I prefer this one. To do what? I have my family to care for. Lenhard? Paul, my sweet angel. The mill. Oh, I apologize. We didn't even get properly introduced. You must be Elsa Mullerin? Yes, that's me. I heard Clara and Ava had an artist boarding with them. That must be very exciting. They've treated me very well. Perhaps Ava more than Clara, Oh, I only meant living on a farm among the townspeople. Isn't it very lively? What a mood. Only when ill Peter wakes in the night and can't find the chamber pot. Ursula brings some joy to the household, though. Such a lovely little girl. I talked to your son, Paul. He seemed like a good kid. Paul is darling, but so shy. I pray the Lord may someday bless us with a daughter. Elsa! Have you finished with your gabble? There's work that needs doing. Oh, no. I'm sorry, I have to get to my labors. Of course. I apologize if I bothered you. Until later, Mistress Mullerin. Until then. Hey, Thomas. God be with you, Andreas. Schlau! Yes! Good catting technique. Cat petting technique, Andreas. You don't seem like you're in a great mood. I don't want to eat with you. It's Town Commons. Yeah, let's see if the midwife wants to, dine. Agnes, was there something up? There's, Lucky. Hey, Lucky. Andreas. Good day, Lucky. Do you have a moment to talk? Make it quick. I'm wondering if I might break bread with you and Agnes. We've never shared a meal. I don't see why not. Agnes would be glad to have you. Is now good? Would be great. Let's not keep her waiting then. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. And we pray you keep safe the souls of the two innocents who rest at your side. They are dearly missed. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 You're looking tired, Agnes. Did Elsa keep you up late? I don't mind it. She needs the support, and I'm happy to give it. Someone has to look after the women of this town, and Werner hardly cares to. Did something happen to Elsa? She lost a child a few weeks back. She was overjoyed when she finally quickened, but her bleeding returned soon after. It has been difficult for her, but she has been through it before. She will make it through again. What do we have? We've got perhaps Swabian ravioli, trout, farmer's bread. This is an easy one. We start at the top and we work our way down. She is strong in her love of Christ and in love of her husband. She does dote on him, though Lennart hardly deserves it. He seems quite unpleasant, yes. That's one way to put it. The miller is not a kind man. Not to the peasants and not to his wife. Spreading rumors is not Christian behavior, Agnes. It's hardly a secret. The man has power in this town, and he makes certain we all know it. Take it as a caution, Andreas. Don't get on the miller's bad side. Where's the fun in that? I hope you will consider the power he has over the Gertners before you go looking for fun. They have fed and sheltered you during your time here. In your position, I would not make trouble for them. Who's making trouble? This is all hypothetical. I have said my piece. I'm sure you behave however you feel is right. The best thing we can do for Elsa is care for her as neighbors, like Christ tells us to. She isn't the only one in Tassing who struggles in her marriage. Even my Brigitte has her troubles. Martin Bauer's wife? I didn't realize she was your daughter. Our only living child, yes. God rest their souls. We should never have agreed to their marriage. She deserves better than Martin Bauer. She loves him, Lucky, and she had to marry sometime. What could we do? Found a man who isn't such a useless shit. At least we got Wolf out of it. I'll make sure he grows up solid. He'll become a great stonemason. Baby. Just like his grandpa. Now, why don't you tell Andreas about your work at the Abbey? You said you found something strange in the building? Strange how? Ah, that. I was repairing a cracked wall down in the crypt. The Abbey used to be a Roman fort, right? So it's no spring hen. I bumped into a relief of the Virgin and the door slid open. It was the damnedest thing. I discovered the same thing. A fascinating architectural detail, to be sure. That old abbey's full of secrets. Make no mistake. Anyway, stuck my head up through the trapdoor and one of the nuns screamed. You didn't tell me that part. I felt bad for scaring them. I doubt Sister Zidane minded. She's not exactly afraid of men. I probably should have knocked first. Never know what you'll find behind a closed door. Speaking of work, I should get back to it. Still lots to fix after that storm. It was lovely having you, Andreas. Take care, Agnes, Lucky. Thank you for your hospitality. See you around the Abbey, I expect. Comp line of comp. I should get some sleep. Get some sleep. Comp line of the comp. Fire still burns. I should get some sleep. Oh? Andreas, Christ, there you are. Don't tell me there's been another killing. Good God, no, we haven't spared such horrors. For now, at least. It's the Archdeacon. He's come early, with an entire retinue in tow. He's questioning everyone who knew the Baron and Brother Piero. I've already told him the little I know. He expects to speak with you tomorrow at Nones. He requested you specifically. Who is with him? Several men at arms, a gaggle of functionaries, and an executioner. I hope your prying has borne fruit, or Piero's neck will meet the sword. I've done my best with the time I've had. If only I had a couple more days. Whatever happens, Piero knows you've been working hard on his behalf, and he's grateful for it. Only, Andreas. What is it? It's just, you know as well as I do that the Baron was not a good man. I'm not saying he deserved what he got, just you should think hard about what you tell the Archdeacon, and who you tell him about. You understand? Out with it, Woshlav. Don't make me twist your arm. All I'm saying is if you're searching, you heard anything about a certain sister, I'd ask you to keep it to yourself. I'll do what I can to protect the sisters from censure. I really didn't hear much of anything about them. That's all I would ask of you. I should return to Kirsau. The abbot will be having a fit about now. Be well, Andreas. I will pray for Piero's deliverance tonight. You should as well. It's getting late. I should get some rest. Life imitates art. Dreamland, the land of the dreams. Andres, when are you coming home? Dad, I'll be home soon. I'm a little nervous about this girl, Sabine. Don't worry yourself over it. I barely knew your mother before we were married. Besides, you need a wife if you're going to start your workshop as a master. That's the law. Yes, of course. You're not going to quit this like you quit university, are you? Haha. No, of course not. Good. If it weren't for the work I did for the rector, you never would have had the opportunity. Most people never get a second chance after they throw something away like that. We'll see you when you get back. Sure, all right. Oh, it's you. I only have the picture of you, the one my brother Daniel made. I really don't have any idea what you're like. stranger? Do you really want to get married to a stranger? Why should that matter? Right, everyone keeps saying that. That's why I'm saying it to you now. Because I'm saying it to myself. Exactly. I'll see you soon, Andreas. For real, I mean. I suppose that's true. Until then. Welcome back, Andreas. It has been too long since you have graced this court with your presence. Apologies, Your Majesty. My mind has been preoccupied by a tragedy at Kirsau Abbey. What manner of tragedy? The murder of a nobleman, a close friend of the Prince Bishop of Friesing. My friend, Brother Piero, is the abbot's only suspect. I know that he could not have done it. How do you know? Examine your assumptions, my son. In addition to having no motive and violence not being part of his character, he's not physically capable of the act. He is of limited strength and has a palsy in his hand that makes holding a paintbrush difficult. It's inconceivable that he would have the strength and resolve to kill the Baron with a blow to his head. A whole lot of inconceivable shit happens in this hell of an earth, Andreas. I do not deny that it is possible, but I believe it is extremely improbable. So what do you intend to do about it? When I'm brought before the Archdeacon, I'll tell him what I know about other people who had motives to kill the Baron. I have to believe he'll see there are much more likely suspects than Piero. Why have you taken this task upon yourself? I have to save Brother Piero's life. He has no one else to help him. Your love for and devotion to him speak well of your character. A man who is humble before his elders honors also his gods. Of course you'd say that, old man. He is right, though. If Andreas doesn't help him, no one will. Exactly. I understand why the brothers and sisters cannot act against the abbot, but I must do something. Why does that shit-for-brains abbot care about the death of a useless fart like Lorenz Rothvogel anyway? Powerful people get upset when other powerful people are murdered. This could threaten the existence of the abbey. Oh no, the abbey! Who gives a damn about those hypocritical assholes? In any case, Andreas' ability to prevent Piero's death depends on the judgment of the Archdeacon. Wise or foolish, corrupt or just, the Archdeacon will be the first and possibly final arbiter of Piero's guilt. Andreas must win the Archdeacon to his side using the tools favored by men such as him. Authority? Despite your talent, you are merely an artist. He has been invested with power by the Prince Bishop of Friesing. You have no authority with him. Wisdom? Wisdom can be shared, but the audience may not comprehend it. Reason? Ha! When was the last time you met a man who was truly ruled by reason? Honesty? You must be honest in all things, Andreas, but many are not willing to accept the truth. And the cost of honesty can be high. If reason, wisdom, authority, and honesty cannot triumph, what am I left with? Hope. Lies. Truth. Above all, faith in Providence. Well, what do you plan to tell the Archdeacon, Andreas? There were other people in Kirsau and Tassing who had motives to kill the Baron. Prior Ferenc feared the Baron would report his occult interests to inquisitors. How so? Prior Ferenc and the Baron shared a fascination with the occult texts. The Baron was pressuring the Prior into performing a ritual for him while he was visiting Kirsau. When Ferenc refused, the Baron threatened to turn him over to the Inquisition. How did you come by this knowledge? I found written evidence, a letter from Ferenc to the Baron in which he discusses all of these matters. It is a dangerous thing, a monk dabbling in the occult. His very soul could be in danger. Forget the soul. He could have been defrocked, excommunicated, even killed, all for a little curiosity. Better stay stupid and ignorant. That's what I say. We're well aware. All of this worry over dangerous books started in the University of Paris. It shouldn't even be an issue out here. Whether the proclamation was made by a bishop of Paris or by the Pope himself, the danger remains. I also found a cipher that the prior had left on his desk in the scriptorium. When I deciphered it, the message pointed me to a freshly disturbed grave in the cemetery. I convinced Otto Zimmermann to dig up the grave in question. What did you find inside? Occult tools that Ferenc had hidden. Why hide them? And why leave the note? I suspect he hid them in case the Baron made good on his threat to summon Inquisitors to Kirsau. As for the note, I am not certain. Prior Ferenc feared loss of his status, his life, and even God's grace. Men have killed for less. How might the Prior have accomplished the deed? He may have killed the Baron with a silver rod. The Prior used it in performing his rituals, and there are traces of blood on it. If that was the weapon, it has a certain dramatic propriety, at least. It will be challenged to condemn a prior for murder, but if that is where the evidence leads, the Archdeacon should see the wisdom in it. Are there any others you suspect? I have found no other suspects. You have brought a worthy mystery before this court, Andreas. I pray to God we have granted you the insight you need to face the coming challenge. Thank you, Your Majesty. I am prepared to meet the day. Before you go, Andreas, there is one more thing to consider. You will be summoned to the Archdeacon to tell him what you know. But you need not tell him everything. Believe me, I know. There is place for a noble lie. This is not one of them. Why? The Baron is dead. All of the people with motive to kill him suffered, either directly or indirectly, from his wickedness. Simply mentioning a name to the Archdeacon may endanger them, whether they had anything to do with the murder or not. Right. No point throwing everyone waist deep into shit. I protest any attempt at deception, but you must ultimately follow your own conscience, Andreas. Little time remains before you must stand before the Archdeacon. Use it wisely. I have faith in Providence. Until we meet again, Andreas, God be with you. And also with you, Your Majesty. Row, row, row a boat out of all my dreams. Merrily, 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 time to use my schemes. Hi, Ursula. Andrea. Hi, Eva. Hello, Andreas. Morning. I hope the day is treating you well. Well enough, though there's too much to do and not enough hours to do it all. The storm made such a mess of the town. And there's the leaks in the roof at home, and then there's all that wood. Lord. Wool, excuse me. What's this about wool? The ewes are near to lambing, so we sheared them last week. Must have spent ages washing that wool. Have you ever smelled wet, dirty wool, Andreas? Ugh, there's nothing worse. Now that it's clean, we've got to spin it, and that takes an age all its own. God, I don't know when I'll find the time. Surely you won't be doing it all yourself. Ah, sometimes I forget you are from Nuremberg, Andreas. Clara, Hetty, Veronica, Kat, even little Ursula will be there, though she makes more mischief than she helps. At least the work goes quickly with the women working together. Lively conversation helps pass the time. Sometimes we even get visitors. What kind of visitors? Sometimes the men in town will come by to say hello. Peter, Jörg, perhaps even Otto. I didn't realize men were invited. Might I visit? You're welcome to come. I'm sure the others would be glad of your company, too. Johann Bauer will be there to keep an eye on us. As long as you stay outside, I can't see what harm you would visiting would cause. I'll consider it. Come on, everyone will be glad to see you mingling with regular folk. Hetty especially. She worries you think too highly of yourself. We meet at Johann Bauer's home. Come by in the morning or afternoon and speak to Johann. I should get back to work. It was a pleasure running into you, Andreas. Be well, Ava. Hello, Andreas. He's outside, isn't he? Schlau. Hello, Andreas. Something you need? Something occurred to me while we were eating. Andreas, I have things to do. Father Thomas needs me to help out at the church. After that, I'm going fishing with old Otto. So if you don't need me to repair a wall or a fallen chimney, then leave me be. I can see you're busy, so I'll keep it brief. I'd hope to ask you a few questions about Baron Rothvogel. I don't think so. Why not? I don't want to. You're a grown man. That should be reason enough for you. I saw you shouting at the Baron when he arrived in Tassing. What was that about? Andreas. A man is dead, Lucky, and another's life hangs in the balance. Christ compels us to speak honestly, neighbor to neighbor. God damn it, Andreas, I told you to leave me be. Christ has nothing to do with it. Lucky already told me he didn't want to talk about Lawrence. But it's clear they argued over something important or Lucky wouldn't be so hostile. Lucky is known to be an honest man. Maybe I can push him just a little more. He doesn't seem the type to hold a grudge, right? Talking about him makes him angry, and you don't strike me as a man quick to anger. That's because I was very angry with him. And now he's dead, so I'm not. I'm not celebrating the Baron's death, Andreas, but I'm not all that sad about it. And that's all I'll say to you about it. Good day. He was not being forthright with me, and he seems eager to get away. If I wait here, maybe he'll leave and I can observe his actions. But what should I do? It'll probably take a while. I'll follow Lucky now. Dun 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 dun. Oh dear, is something the matter with the Zimmerman's basin? Ah, nothing going on here, just having a rest. How are you doing? You're looking well. Very healthy? Oh, you, such a flirt. I've been taking a new restorative made by that new doctor in town, Werner Stolz. Being a parent is terribly exhausting, you know? Of course you don't, but I'm sure you will someday. A nice man like you. Are the Gertners feeding you enough? You're looking a little thin. Oh, take some of this bread. That should perk you right up. Nothing like bread to fortify the spirit. I'm delivering it to Father Thomas. You know how that father loves his bread. He's quite the bread enthusiast. My favorite customer. You should come by the bakery more often, Andreas. Anna would love to see you. It's so cute when she tries to steal your hat. Pardon me, Gret, but I just remembered I left the Gertner's door open. Until later. Oh, of course, until later. Yes, cute when she tries to steal my hat. Master Mahler. Here you are, finally at church, and it's not even Sunday. What can I say, Father Thomas? I missed you. You think all of this, your eternal salvation, is a joke? Afternoon, Father Thomas. How's my favorite customer? Ah, Gret, you know I can't live without my rye. You're too kind. Please, enjoy it with my well wishes. I should be off. Be well, you two. Be well, you two. I told you to leave me in peace. What are you doing here? Lucky, long time no see. How are you? Still angry? Have you suffered a hand injury in the 10 minutes since we last spoke? Are you following me, Andreas? Yes? God damn it, I told you to leave me alone. Lucky, leave the man be. He and I were talking about the church. All is well. Now tell me, how's my wall? The damage is not difficult to repair. I can do it next week. And I can put the fallen stones back up now. That would be marvelous. I'm sure the lady would appreciate it too. But please, don't risk yourself. Get some younger men to help you. Need a hand, Lucky? Afternoon, Father Thomas. Andreas? Lucky, see you soon. Don't work too hard, eh? Even at his age, Lucky is quite able. Only Big Jord can match his strength. Thank you for your labors, Lucky. Tell me, Father Thomas, where did Lucky and old Otto go fishing? I don't think I've seen a suitable place around Tassing. There's a small waterfall in the forest where salmon and trout gather, or so I've heard. I'm not much of a fisherman myself. A bit squeamish, you understand. Why do you ask? Surely you're not really following Lucky. He's an honorable man, Andreas. Bye! Oh! Oh, goodbye? Very unusual man. Very, very subtle. The master of stealth. Oh no. Yeah, what was that? I suppose it's better than letting them suffer. Until later, Otto. He's despawned. It's the perfect time for me to move. Two innocents? That's strange. Are there two people? Are there two people are buried here? Children, perhaps? Could they be Lucky's children? But why would they be buried outside of the churchyard then? It's almost like someone was trying to hide them. Oh, and he left a note with the flowers. Remember the girl. One grave for two innocents. The red bird flies. Mouse. Chapter. Very similar to the other note I found, as well as the note Brother Florian found with the Baron's body. Someone was trying to lure Lucky to the chapter house to kill Baron Rothvogel. It remains to be seen if he did. Damn, I've lost Lucky. This grave does seem important to him, but could it be motive enough for him to kill Lawrence? I won't know until I figure out who's buried here. I should find someone to eat with. Hello. Hi, Andreas. Veronica, no. You can see us. Afternoon, girls. Are you here for a swim too? We don't do much swimming in Nuremberg. In fact, I never learned how. What if you fell in? Well, I suppose I'd drown. Oh my god, don't invite him in. Don't worry, Brigitte. You won't do anything weird. You won't do anything weird, right? I was out here for a walk. I didn't even know you two were here. Well, we are. You shouldn't be. We should be getting back for dinner, actually. Mom will be wondering where I am. I'm not getting out with him here. Oh, I see your dilemma. I'll go. It's fine. It's not. Francis is going to be so mad. Have a good dinner, Andreas. Rotten, full of bugs. Eek. Eek. I thought they were in trouble. Honest. That's why I went back. I hear an eek, I'm gonna go back. I think they're okay now. What? Huh, haven't seen you around before. Who are you? The executioner. Got a problem? Name's Reichardt, if you care to know. Andreas Mahler. Right. What do you want? Just saying hello. How charitable of you. Most folks won't be seen talking to an executioner. That's a shame. It's odd, I'll tell you. Folk shun the executioner and cheer for the sword's blow. Does it ever bother you, seeing people shout for another's death? Why should it? Besides, a few pints and I forget their faces anyway. God, I could use a drink. I'll leave you to it then. Oh, Master Mahler? Yes? We met once before, I think. We were drawing something by the waterfall. I'm Smokey. Well, Adam, but people call me Smokey. You're the charcoal burner. Yes, I have to stay out here in the forest near the kiln. Is there anything I can do for you? Mind if I join you for a meal? Are you sure? Yes. Well then, I suppose you're welcome. Oop. Is alright with you, Vasklav? I suppose. And, Reichardt? Why not? I'm just visiting anyway. Man has the right to eat where he wants. Alright, good. Good. Bless us, O Lord, and these your gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty. Through Christ our Lord. Amen. 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 Blackslav, we have room for more. We'll be alright. If anyone starts any trouble, we've got an official killer to protect us. True enough, but the sword's no good in a fight, and I'm not much good in a brawl. Not many would share their table with an executioner. Thank you for it, Kohler. Just wish you had more beer. Thank you for the hospitality. Of course, we're glad to have you. How else will Voxlov get at this town gossip? Stop, I don't... Alright, I was only kidding. If gossip is what you crave, dear Voxlov, I am more than happy to provide. I don't. Smokey is... I like to talk to people about their beliefs, that's all. Not gossip. Smokey was making a stupid joke. Don't mind him. Don't sulk about it, then. Mountain Dew, jerky... It's gotta start with the almonds. In truth, I'm the gossip master Mahler. I can't carouse with proper people, but I like to know what's going on. If you tell me some of your gossip, I'll tell you some of mine. I haven't heard anything to share lately. But you and Voxlov, you must hear all kinds of things. You're not wrong about that. Smokey. Gossip makes trouble and gets people hurt. Or run off or killed. And a lot of times they didn't even deserve it. You two are like a couple of old women. No fun at all. No one's getting hurt. We're just telling stories. Alright then, what have you heard? Voxlov knows something about the prior, don't you, Voxlov? Why are you dragging me into this? Look, either you tell the story or I'll tell my version of it. Stupid. Fine. A few weeks back, I saw that man, the Hungarian, in the woods. He was doing some kind of ritual with blood. That's not a good sign. The use of blood is often associated with black magic. Black magic? Well, I don't care what color it is. It sounds bad to me. Whose blood was it? His. He cut his hand in the middle of the ritual and dripped the blood into a cup, I think. He kept repeating some phrase over and over. Sex looks 10 every or something. Scared you, didn't it, Voxlov? Well, I don't mind people having strange beliefs. Let people do what they want. I just don't like blood. I just don't like bloob, is actually what he said. That'd be a difficult obstacle in my line of work. What's inside the body should stay inside. Some invocations require blood sacrifice so the spirit has something material to work through. Work through? Yes, to do the bidding of the practitioner. It sounds bad. You heard anything else lately? Nothing else comes to mind. Well, the good brothers and sisters at the Abbey may have the townsfolk fooled, but not old Smokey. They get up to all sorts of things in these woods. Oh? Smokey. Probably shouldn't go telling other folks' tales, Kohler. No, please. No one around here cares if I live or die. I sure don't care about what I say to people. Until they do. Fine, say what you want. You know that monk and nun who do the shopping in town? Brother Voslav and Sister Matilda? Well, they do more than shop together. They met in the woods sometimes. They meet in the woods sometimes where no one can see. No one except old Smokey. And do the things adults do, you understand? File their taxes. Christ, Kohler. Do you think he's an 8-year-old? What? It's true. Good for them. If they're happy, what's the harm? They certainly seemed happy. Very happy, if you get my meaning, after filing their taxes. Yes, I understand. Thank you. Yes, well, you heard anything else lately? No, nothing. I keep telling you I haven't. No matter. There's plenty more to tell. Well, the whole town's built on Roman ruins, right? Pieces of an old town sit underneath the abbey, too. Hundreds of years ago, the Romans built all sorts of things up here. Then one day, they all just vanished. We built on their old bones. You still have to be careful when you step in this forest. You're liable to fall into an old ruin, or get scared halfway to the grave by a ghost. A priest told me there's no such thing as ghosts, Kohler. They're real. Smokey saw one. I've read many books that speak of the appearance of spirits of the dead, angels, even demons. They may be false, but certainly there are many who believe. Listen to Smokey and you might become a believer. It was late in the evening. The moon was high, painting the leaves all soft and silver. I heard a rustling in the meadow, like wind through the grass, like whispers. I looked up. This is my favorite part. This is good. And there he was, standing in the meadow like he's carved out of moonlight, bent near in half. He looks at me, and it's like I've been speared straight through to my soul. Just these two eyes, like dark pools, boring right into me. And his edges, the borders of him, they shimmer. So hard it hurts to look straight at him. I can't help it. I blink. Like God himself closed my eyes. This chill wind blows through me, the very breath of winter. And when I look back, he's gone. God. God damn it, Cole, you're trying to scare everyone with that shit? I love that story. Good story, well told. Thank you, I appreciate the kind words. I think others have seen what I've seen. Must be a lot of godless Romans under this dirt. Anyway, these ruins are haunted. Hey, Smokey, I have to get back to sharpening knives for the Albans. Alright, enough talking. Good to see you, Master Mauler. Drop by again sometime. Thank you for having me, Smokey. Till next time. Jacob has arrived. I need to go to the chapter house and talk to the Archdeacon. Iris is beautiful. Iris is beautiful. Good day, Andreas. God bless you, Andreas. Master Mahler? Yes, it's me, sister. Do you think Brother Piero really murdered the Baron? No, of course not. Oh, then why did Father Abbot have him put in the cellar? Father Abbot is afraid of what will happen if we can't figure out who the killer really is. Do you think the devil could appear here in Kirsau? Yes, I suppose. Why? I didn't see the devil, but I think I smelled his odor. The night before the Baron was killed, I woke before matins and I smelled something in our dormitory. It was strange. Moss and sulfur mixed with frankincense and roses. It moved through the room. I wanted to scream, but I was too frightened. And then it was gone. I'm ashamed that I didn't cry out, but I didn't know what to do. I don't know that I would have done any better, sister. That's small comfort, but thank you. Thank you, Sister Margaret. God bless you, Master Mahler. God bless you, Master Mahler. God bless you, Andreas. Hey, Andreas. Hello, Andreas. Just final check through. Oh. Andreas, may I help you with anything? Not now, thank you. Oh, I'm tempted to confront him with it, but it's a surprise tool that will help us later. Good day, Andreas. garden. Please state your name for our records. Andreas Mahler, journeyman artist from Nuremberg. What is an artist doing in Curacao Abbey? The Abbey still has some commissions from wealthy patrons, and I need the money before I return to Nuremberg. Arnold, please write that down. I think we're ready to begin. Of course, Your Reverence. Now then, Master Mahler, what was your relation to Lorenz, the Baron Rothvogel? I only knew him for a day, but we were on friendly terms. Do you feel you had a sense of him as a person? Yes, Your Reverence. How would you characterize him? A nobleman, for all of the good and ill that goes along with that title. Do you have a problem with the nobility, Master Mahler? Is this germane to the investigation, Your Reverence? I determine what is germane. And you've already forgotten who asked the questions here? No. Do you know of anyone who had reason to harm the Baron? I can think of a few people, Your Reverence. Good, that might help us solve this problem that faces us. The Baron Rothvogel was murdered here, in this very room. Someone did it. Father Gernot believes it was one of his monks, Brother Piero. I have met with Brother Piero and questioned him at length. While it seems unlikely that a man of his a man of his age and temperament could murder the Baron, he was discovered in flagrante delicto. Corpus delicti, body of the crime, something literal, often figurative. Sometimes literal, often figurative. The principle that must be proven to establish a crime has occurred. Technically, he discovered the corpus delicti, but was not caught in flagrante delicto. Master Mahler, I am not interested in the clarifications, technical or otherwise, on matters of Latin or law. If you wish to advocate on behalf of Brother Piero, I suggest shutting your mouth until I ask you a question. Piero had reasons to resent the Baron. The loss of his work, the insistence of discussing the writings of the troublemaker from Wittenberg. And as for his age and infirmity, I myself have read of many cases in which a man of modest strength succumbs to the temptations of the devil. Once seized by a devilish fever, the poor sinner gains an infernal power that allows him to inflict grievous wounds, sometimes fatal. What I am saying is that in spite of the curious circumstances, Brother Piero is the most plausible perpetrator of this most vile act. I understand that you are on friendly terms with Brother Piero. You also interacted with the Baron in both the town and the Abbey. Did you witness anything that suggests someone else could have murdered Baron Rothvogel? The Abbey's prior, Ferenc, was behaving suspiciously the day of the Baron's arrival. He may have a motive. That is an extraordinary claim, Andreas. The abbot speaks highly of the prior, and he oversees both you and Brother Piero's work, does he not? Yes, Your Reverence. An extraordinary claim requires extraordinary evidence for me to take it seriously. Why should I take the word of an artist over a respected officer of this abbey? I can provide more evidence of Prior Ferenc's motive. Please do so. Baron Rothvogel and Prior Ferenc were exchanging letters about performing a magical ritual during the Baron's visit. You have proof of this? I have a letter the Prior wrote to the Baron. In it, the Prior mentions that he will not perform a ritual for the Baron, even if the Baron does follow through on the threat to implicate him to the Inquisitors of Innsbruck. It says I provided immaterial gossip, which we'll see if that's treated as such. An implication of necromancy is a serious matter. The Prior's position would have been in peril, perhaps even his life. And how do you believe Prior Faring would have killed the Baron? I pray you will not say it was a magical ritual. I found a silver rod that belongs to Prior Faring. It has dried blood on it. A silver rod? Likely a magical tool of some sort, but it is of a size and weight appropriate for the head wound that the Baron received. How did you come to possess this item? One of Prior Faring's concerned brethren delivered it to my keeping. I would prefer to keep his name out of the records. Highly unusual, Master Mahler, but I will heed your request. Is there anything else to say about the Prior? No, Your Reverence. Very well. Who else may have wanted to see the Baron dead? I can think of no one else who could have cause to harm the Baron, Your Reverence. Very well. Are you aware of anything else that might shed some light on this case? Has Baron Florian told you about the note he found in the Baron's clothing? Yes, Brother Florian explained how he came to find it and told me its contents. Master Adeljäger has entered his testimony into our register. I don't understand the implications. Who is the innocent? It's not clear to me either, Your Reverence. Do you believe the murderer wrote it? Whoever wrote it was a talented scribe. I understand Curacao has two, the elderly brother Adok and the younger brother Guy. To be frank, Your Reverence, neither man has the skill to write in this way. There's something else about it, too. The style is just different. It's unlike Adok and Guy's writing. Unlike mine. Yes, well, whatever the particulars, it seems it will remains a mystery that stands apart from the commission of the murder. Of course, Your Reverence. Until next time. Hopefully there won't be a next time. No offense. Andreas, I didn't think you were coming to this. I didn't think I was either. I suppose I wanted to see how this ends after all. It was the prior of the Abbey, if you can believe it. Did you ever talk with him in the Abbey, Andreas? You missed the trial, Andreas. I got a boop-beep saying that I got Ferenc executed. That Archdeacon read all the charges and found him guilty. I worked with him every day. He was obsessed with dark magic. It was only a matter of time before he got caught. About time, then. Oh, here comes the procession. Did I miss anything? No, you're fine. Andreas? Otto? Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccatum. I didn't do this. God knows even if you do not. Agnus Dei, qui tollis mundi misericors. This can't be happening. This can't be happening. Agnus Dei, qui tollis mundi nobis pacem. Running like a chicken, crying like a... Well, no need for that. Silence, silence. I order the executioner to carry out his duty. I warrant him peace and safe conduct, whatever may befall him. I don't know how violent this is going to be, so just warning for an execution that's about to happen. I'm going to say watch, and I'll say when the deed is done, and I'll say when the body's off the screen, if those are two separate things. So we are going to watch. My God, my God! Hold still. No, no, no! My Lord Judge, have I executed well? You have executed as judgment and law have required. For that I thank God and my master who has taught me such art. Bodies off the screen. Oofa doofa. I know this was your doing, Andreas. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. You turned a blind eye to his activities for years. How dare you? Do you understand the pressure I'm under to keep this abbey together? Does that mean you should ignore the fact that your prior studies black magic? Or that he killed a man? You are no longer welcome at Curacao, Andreas Mahler. I will send your final payment to the Gertners. May you have a long and successful career in Nuremberg, and may you never travel this way again. And Act 1 out of the abbot's favor. Andreas, has the time come for you to leave us? I'm afraid so, Brother Piero. This farewell will have to be brief. Father Gernot made it clear I was no longer welcome at Curacao. I pray that time will soften the Father Abbot's heart. I hope he eventually realizes you were only trying to help me. This is a sad parting, but inevitable. I had hoped you would stay a bit longer. But the world needs you more than Curacao does. You have grown beyond this old abbey and become a master in your own right. I will miss you, my son. Who will keep you out of trouble when I'm gone? I pray that is the last trouble I will see in my old age. And I have God and you to thank for getting me out of it. Come, your masterpiece is complete. May I see it one last time before you go? Please, I value your assessment. The opinion of one old monk matters little. All the same, I am excited to see it finished at last. It is a masterpiece, truly worthy of the word. And it appears you took my advice to heart. What advice was that? You put yourself into the work, not just to interpret another artist's work, but to transform it into something true. This shows the world as it is, as you have seen it, even if it is not what we may want to see. Though it is not my place to say so, I am proud of you, Andreas. What's this? A scrap of parchment. Do not return here. A warning? Whose hand is this? It doesn't look like Brother Adok's or Brother Guy's. Brother Florian and I found a similar note in the Baron's clothing. And I found more notes delivered to others while I was investigating. They must have been written by someone who knew the darkest secrets of the town and this abbey. Spoiler alert! Yeah. They tugged at those secrets to kill the Baron, like someone pulling at threads that had been buried in their past. A frightening thought, but who would do such a thing? I wish I knew. Do not trouble yourself overly about it. Your future lies outside of these walls. I hope that you will have time to visit me once or twice in your travels before the Lord takes me. I'm sure we'll see each other again, assuming Father Gernot doesn't forbid it. We must have faith that better days lie ahead for all of us. God bless you, Andreas Mahler. God bless you, Brother Piero. Are you alright, Master Andreas? What? Are you alright, Master Andreas? Yes, thank you. I was just remembering him. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't come easily anymore. Oh, would you like me to leave you alone? No, Casper, it's not necessary. There's nothing to be done about it now. It's too late. Like so many things. Andreas Mahler. I never expected to see your face here again. Have you been in Nuremberg for these last 7 years? No. Nuremberg for a few years, but I received some lucrative commissions abroad. I was in Poland, baby. I was in Krakow, the court of King Sigismund. He has a great passion for humanism as well as new Italian and German art. Did you have occasion to paint the king's physician, Jacob Isaac? Not to paint, but I did meet him. I was surprised to learn King Sigismund had ennobled him. An interesting man. You don't meet many Jews in nobility in Poland or otherwise. Poland is one of the few places Jews may live in peace. Provided the king doesn't have a change of heart. I'm surprised you care at all. In spite of your extensive travels and success, you're still not welcome at Kirsau. The abbot hasn't forgotten what happened. 7 years isn't all that long. I simply wanted to pay my respects to an old friend. Surely you understand that. I understand why Father Abbot expelled you from the abbey. What were you expecting? A hero's welcome? A land house, an inn or tavern usually owned and operated by a single family that serves travelers in rural areas. Here's our friend a snail. Fine, tell Father Gernot I'll be staying at the land house or in town for a night or two before moving on. The golden hand? I'll tell him, but I can't imagine he'll care. Why is he so rude? God bless you. Now be off. You say you want a revolution? That monk seemed unhappy to see you, Master Andreas. Why is the abbot so angry with you? Towards the end of my stay in Tassing, there was a murder at Kirsau Abbey. A nobleman. Father Gernot panicked and accused my friend, Brother Piero, of committing the crime. I helped convince the investigating archdeacon that another monk was responsible, Prior Ferenc. He was executed for the crime. You got someone killed? Yes. I had no idea you were involved in something so exciting. Why didn't you mention it before? Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation about... It must have been a hard situation about if the abbot is still this mad about... Well, I suppose it must have been a hard situation about if the abbot is still this mad at you. I had to make some difficult choices. Maybe they were the wrong ones. I've had to live with that. Why did we come here if you're not welcome? I wanted to pay my respects to Brother Piero, and so I pressed F. And to be honest, I'm not looking forward to returning to Nuremberg. This commission is an obscene vanity piece under the pretext of a religious scene. My patrons just want to celebrate themselves and their wealth. I dread each new commission more than the last. Each step I take home is agonizing. But, Master, you're famous and rich. Your work is wonderful. When I saw your altarpiece in Nuremberg, I begged my father to help me become your apprentice. I don't understand how you could accomplish all that you have, and be unhappy. I know, it must be hard to believe. I was once very much like you. Once I wanted this life so much that it consumed my every waking thought. I don't know if I've changed or if what I wanted was never really real. Maybe I've been a fool this whole time. So this is what you have to look forward to, Casper. A life of disappointment. Well, come, let's visit my old friend Klaus. It's been too long. As you like, Master Andreas. That is where we'll call it for tonight / the day, 'cause it's after midnight. Oh, I thought it was going to take me to the menu screen, and it didn't. So instead we just have a black screen. Yeehaw. Thanks for watching, everybody. That's the end of Act 1. There's 3 acts, so we're about a third of the way through. And I'm very excited for the rest of it. It's a good game. It's a very good game. I think it keeps up the same level throughout the rest of it, though. There are some fun surprises in store that I can't wait to dig into. Anything I want to close things out with? Take care of yourself. Take care of those around you. And don't murder a noble. Unless you can get away with it. And they suck. Like, they really suck. I think that's the lesson that I have for you. Is there anything else? Who could say? Tuesday. That's the other thing. Tuesday, we're probably finishing up Suikoden 2. Looking forward to that. They'll be at the usual time. That one's actually on the schedule. And other than that, Thursday is going to be more Cult of the Lamb. And then after that, who knows? More Pentiment at some point. I can't give you an exact time yet because the future is a beautiful mystery to me. So I'll see you next time. Bye!